back, everybody, to another live reaction here at I'm Not a Coach. I'm your host, Dave Huerta. Thank you so much for joining us on this Monday night matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. This is the final game of the opening week of 2025. Let's freaking go, man. What a first week in the NFL, man. We had some blowouts. We had some really, really close games. And, of course, the storylines. We had Rodgers against the Jets. Big win for the Steelers. And then we had the Packers. Micah Parsons' debut against the Lions. Unbelievable. And we get the opening kickoff here. It'll be caught right at the goal line to the 10, to the 15, to the 20. He breaks the tackle and gets it down to the 25. The Minnesota Vikings will start at the 25. Heck of a tackle there by Chicago. But then, obviously, last night, we got a absolute classic between the Ravens and the Bills, 41-40. Absolute miraculous comeback. And tonight, we have the NFC North division rivals, Minnesota, Chicago. Should be a good one. J.J. McCarthy getting his first career NFL start after being drafted in the first round last year. Unfortunately, got hurt in the preseason. Missed all of last year. Now we're going to see what we can do. J.J. under center, single back in the backfield, tight end in motion. All right, changing a few things here. J.J. toss to the right, gets it to Aaron Jones, the former Green Bay Packer, gets to the corner and will pick up 2 yards on the carry. There we go. That's how much respect Aaron Jones has. The defender was literally basically running him out of bounds, and Jones fell, and the defender literally was like making sure that he did not fall too hard. He almost like gently put him down on the ground and then gently picked him up. That's how much people love Aaron Jones. It's phenomenal. Anyway. Next, we have J.J. under center, single back in the backfield. Once again, tight end in motion. All right, man. We got J.J. changing a few things here at the line again. This one fakes the handoff, rolling off to his right, finds his tight end underneath. He's got a defender, stiff arms him, and will get out of bounds, but not after picking up some decent yardage gain of about 5 on the play. But how are you guys doing? We got Mickey Mouse in the chat. It's Monday Night Football, baby. Yes, it is, man. Welcome to the chat, man. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. And if you're just joining us, please like and subscribe. It's going to help out the channel immensely. We're trying to get to 100 before October. All right, we got JJ in the shotgun. 2 receivers stacked up on the left. Single running back to his right. Looking, pressured, runs, and he's going to be taken down for a sack, loss of about 1. Great job by that Chicago defense, man, collapsing the pocket, basically pinching it at the back, but then able to loop back to the front to stop JJ from getting any positive yardage on the QB scramble. Nice job. All right, unfortunately for Minnesota, they will be punting this one away, so a quick 3 and out for the Minnesota offense. And the punt is away. And it'll be caught at the 17, a little bobble to the 25-30, keeps it going to the 35, and is going to be finally taken down at the 39. And that was Duvernay with a nice little return. And here we have another quarterback from the 2024 draft. This is Caleb Williams. Very much the opposite. While we did not see a single snap from J.J. McCarthy in the regular season, we saw plenty of Caleb Williams, a lot of downs, some ups, and it's going to be very interesting how much this young man has developed in his second year in Chicago. Tumultuous rookie season for him. In the shotgun, running back to his right, 2 receivers to the left, and looking to that left side. Has to throw to his running back on the right, and it's going to be DeAndre Swift picking up some positive yardage. There you go. A little bit off script. Williams was looking to his left initially, could not find anything, got some pressure, but delivered a nice ball to his running back and made a negative into a positive. Oh, we got David Stegosaurus. Howdy to you, sir. How you doing tonight? Good to see you. All right, 2 receivers stacked up on that left side. Pressure. And, oh, my God, nice little move. And he's going to throw it to Swift out of the backfield again with some momentum. And Swift taken down at the 50. We'll have a first down for Chicago. Wow, that was a wild play. So, Caleb was under center. Took the snap, play action, was about to roll to his right, but immediate pressure to that right side. Made a nice little move, bought some time, and then found Swift, this time to the left side of the field. Swift able to make a man miss and pick up the first down. All right, Caleb under center, single back in the backfield. Romadunze, I believe, in motion, toss up the middle, and Swift picking up about 4 on the carry down to the 46 of Minnesota. Let me see here, Captain Mickey Mouse. What's your reaction to last night's win for Buffalo? It was incredible, man. I'm pretty sure after the Ravens' final touchdown that made it 40-25, I said, hey, that was the final nail in the coffin. Ravens are going to run away with this one. It's over. And what happened after that was wild, man. So, yeah, I was absolutely stunned by what happened. Great win for Buffalo. Caleb under center, play action, looking over the middle, and nice little move there by number 25, picking up the first down and a little bit more, well into field goal territory. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Sorry about the delay. But yeah, I was just impressed, man. Impressed by the offense of Buffalo. Josh Allen, once again, went Super Saiyan, basically. I think we've talked about that in the past. All right, quick. Looking over the middle, and he finds his receiver, number 2. That is DJ Moore, the former Carolina Panther, picking up some decent yardage, making it a more manageable down for Chicago. Final goal for the end was crazy. Oh, absolutely, man. Field goal at the end was pretty darn impressive. And I'm not saying that the kick, I'm just saying that they were able to get down the field in such a quick manner. It was a wild finish. Caleb under center, receiver in motion to that right side. Quick handoff, and Swift taken down right at the goal line. I believe that is Grenard, the former Houston Texan. Yeah, Grenard had a phenomenal season for them last year. But yeah, what was your guys' reaction? I want to know what your opinion was of last night. Did you think that Buffalo had a chance to even come back? Because I didn't. Caleb in the shotgun, and looks like there was miscommunication. He was telling his receiver, hey, no, go back, and a little bit of delay there. His receiver did not listen, so Caleb using Chicago's first timeout here. Yeah, and a little bit of backstory with Caleb. Last year, man, it wasn't just him that was up and down. That whole franchise struggled. Obviously, they fired their head coach. I think it was right after Thanksgiving. But on top of that, they went through 3 offensive play callers / coordinators, basically, in a single season. That is absolutely wild. That you cannot develop a quarterback in that manner, that with that much change, that much disruption. No, you have to commit to something. Caleb looking, rolling out to his right, trying to get away from the pressure, delivers an absolute freaking dime down the right sideline. Was that called? That was a Rome Odunze with an incredible borderline Astounding catch. Did he get both feet? Yes, he did. Kept possession. Damn. Under center, Caleb looking to his left, finds his receiver down the left sideline. He's going to be good for some decent yardage, gain of 7. Wow, man, what a heck of a freaking throw by Caleb Williams. That is some Aaron Rodgers type of throw right there. That is young Aaron Rodgers when I saw that throw. That's what that reminded me of. That was incredible. Let me see here. Captain Mickey Mouse. If you watch the locker room afterwards, the Buffalo coach was damn happy for their kicker. Absolutely, man. Matt Prater coming in on a short week. I mean, he was picked up, like you said, from the Cardinals practice squad. A guy that he's kicked a lot of field goals in his day. You know, he's been in the league since 2006, been successful at a couple franchises, and to be able to come in and basically have a game-winning field goal with a 16-point comeback on Sunday night against the Ravens. Heck of a job by Matt Prater, man. I mean, it was not a super long kick, but still, that's a lot of pressure. That's, you know, it's not easy. But Matt Prater, man, he's kicked a lot of big big kicks in his career. A lot of game winners for Denver and Detroit. And Minnesota did use a timeout here, but we're back. Caleb under center here, hands it off to Swift, who is going to be taken down for a loss of about 2. Yeah, Minnesota sniffed that one out pretty quickly. He should stay with Buffalo if he isn't already to come back. Yeah, that's true. I think so, especially if Bass is. I think the earliest Bass can come back, and I think we talked about this last night, is week 5. So yeah, I think Prater is gonna. I think he's earned himself at least that many weeks on the team, and I wouldn't be surprised if they kept 2 or at the very least put Prater on the practice squad afterwards. Caleb in the shotgun, takes the snap, looking, dancing in the pocket, rolling out to his left. He's gonna run. He's to the 5, and he stays on his feet, lowers a shoulder, and that is a touchdown for the Chicago Bears on the opening drive. And you know what that means, man. It is a primetime game. We have to earn the lights. Guess what? That Caleb Williams scramble touchdown just gave us some lights. Bam, baby. Oh, man. I know it's only one drive, man, but Caleb Williams looks damn good. And I praised the kid last year. I even had a post where I was like, dude, you got to give this kid some help, some protection, some they gave him weapons, but they needed protection. They needed better coaching because you could see the talent in Caleb Williams. It was clear that this is a potential franchise quarterback. His ability to throw, his ability to move in and out of the pocket, and like you just saw, able to scramble and put up points. Let me see here. David, you know what else is easy? Pimping. At least so they say. Hey, man, pimping. All right, man. I'm just saying. Pimping. Let me see. Captain Mickey Mouse, did you accidentally take a Bears timeout away instead of Minnesota? So Chicago used a timeout early in the drive, and then I think 2 plays later, just before the DeAndre Swift loss for a tackle, Minnesota used a timeout. So both of these teams are down to 2. I think you did take away the wrong timeout. So I think I just it was a delay. I didn't take Minnesota's yet because I got caught up in that touchdown play. But yeah, there should only be 2 timeouts for each team now. But yeah. But how's everybody doing tonight? How was your weekend? How's the week starting out for you? Was work good? Let me know. Let me know. But yeah, yeah, I'm just happy football's back, man. There always just seems to be a nice little pace to everything. Everything seems to be a little bit quicker when football's around. David, the Bears. Oh, dude, that skit, that SNL skit, man, and the fact that it was Chris Farley doing it, who was born and raised in basically in Wisconsin. It's it was awesome. Chris Farley, man, a freaking legend. All right, Minnesota gets the return on the bounce there to the 15 to the 20, and holy cow, man, he got just absolutely depleted on that one, man. Yeah, dude, Price went flying after that hit. Yeah, that was number 92 for Chicago, Hardy, just delivering an absolute shoulder check. Jesus. All right, Minnesota starting from the 24. JJ looking, throwing to the right side, gets Jefferson, and Jefferson with a nice move will pick up some good yardage down that right sideline. Gain of about 6. All right, McCarthy under center. Single back in the backfield. Jefferson alone to the right. And it's going to be a handoff to Jones. He's going to cut it back inside and will pick up just about a yard on the play. Chicago's defense right now, man, they are flying to the ball. Let's go pick 6, please. Hey, man. Did we have a pick 6 in any of the games? I don't think we did. We almost had one in Green against the Packers. It was Brian Branch pick had a nice little pick 6 until it was wiped away by a penalty. I think that was the closest we got. All right, shotgun, 3 receivers on the left side. McCarthy looking. He somehow escapes, but is still unable to stay on his feet. Holy cow, man. He almost got just absolutely destroyed in the pocket, but squirted out, but was unable to stand on his feet, and he did like a little somersault. I think it's still going to be considered a sack, but dang, dude. Yeah, it looks like he kind of just tripped over his own feet trying to escape the pocket, but that was a pretty decent reaction right there. So unfortunately, another 3 and out for Minnesota. The punt is away, and it'll be caught at the 18. Chicago returning this one, breaks a tackle, and will be officially down around the 25. Yeah, man. When it comes to the games that we put on we did on the stream, they were fairly clean. Yeah, because Dak Prescott and Jalen Hurts, neither of them threw a pick. Chiefs and Chargers, I don't think there was an interception. Rodgers and Fields, they were clean. Goff threw a pick. And I think that was it, man. Lamar didn't get picked off. And and neither did Josh Allen, man. Wow. What the heck is going on with the defenses, man? But yeah, no. I think we talked about it too. The defenses typically start out a little slower sometimes. Um, but yeah, but hopefully tonight is a little different. Hopefully we get some turnovers, man, because it's always exciting when you get an interception, get the return, possibility of a pick six, something. Got to keep it going. But yeah, a big storyline obviously tonight is not just JJ McCarthy coming in and finally getting to see him in the regular season. You're also seeing what Ben Johnson is going to be able to do for that Chicago team, especially the offense, especially for Caleb Williams. And I think you saw a little bit of the effect of Ben Johnson as well as Aaron Glenn leaving their positions as coordinators in Detroit. I don't think Detroit is as bad as they looked yesterday by any means, but I do believe that Ben Johnson is a pretty darn good offensive coach, and I'm really excited to see what he can do with Caleb Williams, because I think Caleb Williams has the better tools than Goff, even when Goff was a little bit younger. I don't think he had that type of ability to make plays out of the pocket as much as Caleb does. And I mean, when you saw that throw down that sideline, man, like I said, I was not exaggerating. That looked like an Aaron Rodgers throw from 2008, 2009. All right, we got Caleb under center, fakes the handoff, look in, and dumps it underneath to Swift, who will get back to the line of scrimmage. Okay, well, now we need a good spin move. Oh, yes, absolutely. A spin move is necessary. Also, there's a Minnesota Vikings. Okay. So a spin move, and tears is what we're looking for here. All right, three receivers on the left. Caleb in the shotgun. Dancing in the pocket, escaping to the 30, 35, and slides down to the 39. Caleb Williams picking up the first, man. He looks quick. And there's a few jitters. I think he's looking at the pass rush a little bit more than I would want. You don't ever want to keep your eyes down away from your receivers. I think he's a little too quick to just bail, but I understand it. He was the most sacked quarterback last year, and it wasn't even close. All right, under center, hands off to Swift, who cuts it up the field. I don't even think, I think that's DJ Moore. Yes, it is. So DJ Moore with a traditional running back handoff and picks up some decent yardage. All right, we got a two tight end set. We have Cole Kmet and Loveland on the field. Loveland, there was actually a top 10 pick for them earlier this year in the NFL draft in Green Bay. Williams under center, and it's going to be, I believe, a false start on Chicago. About half of the offensive line jumped. All right, Williams in the shotgun, running back to his left, tight end in motion. Caleb looking, pressured, finds his tight end over the middle, and that is Loveland's first NFL catch. Good for about 7 or 8 yards. Caleb able to find him while on the move. Nearly Loveland bobbling that pass, nearly dropped it, but hey, held on and picked up some good yardage. Quick throw to the left, and unfortunately nowhere near accurate enough. Romadunze unable to haul that one in without falling to the ground. Yeah, that's a throw Caleb wants back. Dude, he threw that one like a fadeaway. It just kind of like just trailed off at the end. Dunze had to basically dive for it. All right, Chicago's first punt of the night. And it'll be out around the 20, maybe the 15. All right, we got some extracurriculars after the punt, but no flag. All right, we got O'Connell talking to J.J. McCarthy, trying to get this offense going, man. Unfortunately, 2 3-and-outs to start this game. Trying to see who is Chicago's biggest acquisition this season. They really didn't have too many pick up here. Yeah, I remember when they drafted Colston Loveland. I was at Lambeau Field. I was sitting down inside the stadium in one of like the kind of like event areas that they had set up, and when that name popped up, I was sitting probably like 5 or 6 feet away from a Chicago Bears fan, and when they announced tight end out of Michigan, Colston Loveland, I looked over, and the Bears fan was like, "Why?" And then the next sentence he said was, "This is why we suck." I was like, hey man, he's not going to be a bad tight end. Who knows? Like he did really well in college. He's very athletic. But yeah, using a top 10 pick on the tight end when you have offensive line issues, you probably needed some secondary help. You probably could have added, maybe an extra wide receiver there, or at the very least, maybe a defensive lineman to kind of help shore up some of that run defense just a little bit more. But yeah, it was a funny reaction, and I had a good chuckle about it. If they win, Chicago's latest acquisition will be the real estate in the Vikings fans' heads. Ooh. It's going to be a toss to the left. Aaron Jones with some tough running there. Just run. Oh, that was actually Mason. Jordan Mason acquired with a trade with the 49ers there, man. So a nice little toss to the left, and Mason picks up about 6. It was the dreads that threw me off. I thought that was Jones. All right, McCarthy under center. Single receiver to the left. Jefferson in motion. Another handoff. This one up the middle. And Jordan Mason with some tough running gets the first down. Nice running by the former 49er. So I guess if Chicago wins, like you said, and they have, if they have some real, they'll get some real estate in the heads of Vikings fans. So would that mean, since the Packers own the Bears, the Packers will also own some real estate in Viking fans' heads? I'm just asking. Just asking. David, yes. Simple answer right there. All right, man. I'm down for it then. Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see here. Oh yeah, I forgot. Adam Thielen is back on the Vikings. He got traded. What was it, last week? August 27th. So yeah, a little over a week ago. That's always good, man. I remember when Thielen first kind of popped off, man. He was a guy that obviously he grew up in Minnesota, born and raised in Minnesota. And yeah, dude, the guy just popped and just never really slowed down. It was pretty incredible. All right, we got McCarthy alone in the shotgun, looking, throwing deep down the field to the left, and it'll be incomplete, trying to find Aaron Jones, and we have a flag on Chicago. Aaron Jones comes up laughing. He knew that's a veteran move right there. Underthrown ball, you know what you do? You slow up. He tackled me. Easy flag. Easy flag. I still hate seeing Aaron Jones in purple, man. It's not right. The NFL should allow teams to be able to pay a guy no matter what, however much it is, but it doesn't count against the cap. Only one player. Aaron Jones, hey, we'll give you $10 million. You'll still be on the team, but you won't count. You won't count against the cap. That way we can keep you. All right, McCarthy in the shotgun. Play action. Pressured. He's going to run. He's to the 20 and falls head first to the 24. Picks up a first down. And both of these quarterbacks, man, they can run. And that's one thing that people don't really talk about with McCarthy. The biggest thing when he was in Michigan was oh, he's a game manager. He's got a great running game. He's got a great defense. He didn't have to do a whole lot, which is kind of true. But the kid is athletic. McCarthy hands it off to Mason up the middle and will be down to the 11-yard line. Sorry, I think I said 24. I meant 16. Sorry. Forgot they were already on the other side of the field. All right, JJ under center, two receivers to the right, single back in the backfield. This one, another handoff to the left. Mason able to make a man miss, but Chicago's defense doing a great job of swarming to the ball will bring him down for a loss. All right, man, we're seeing a lot of Jordan Mason so far, especially after the first two drives where it was primarily Aaron Jones. All right, McCarthy in the shotgun, three receivers spread out on that right side. He's looking to that right side and will find Jefferson, but I think that is going to be incomplete. It is. That was a good coverage by Chicago. And the point is going to be good for Minnesota. They are on the board. Let's freaking go. My goodness. About time. All right. Officially, both teams have put up some points. Finally. Let's go. David, the Vikings should punt from here. Yeah, man, what the heck? Why are they trying to field goal? God, man. They can't even do punting correctly. Jesus. I'm telling you, man, these franchises can't help them, man. Can't win with them. Ugh. Can't do it. Won't do it. And David, did you do any fantasy this year? All right. Boom. So yeah, Ben Johnson has a real opportunity here to kind of change a lot in this Chicago. I mean, we've had obviously they've been trying to find a freaking coach for a long time. I think the last successful one that they really had was Lovie Smith, who had any successful seasons that were just more than just one. I know they had Nagy there. He had a good season or two, but it never became more than just barely making the playoffs. But yeah, with Lovie Smith, they were successful for a while, even if it was, you know, the height was pretty quick, and then it just kind of was middle of the road for a while. And Chicago gets the ball right at the goal line to the 15, trying to turn to the left, gets to the 20, 25, 30, and will be taken out at the 34 is Duvernay. I don't do traditional fantasy football. My wife and I pick every regular season game winner before the season starts. Oh, okay. Right on, man. Heck yeah. That's awesome, man. So what's the record, man? Who's winning? You or the wife? Who seems to be getting who's getting the trophies, man? It looks like there was whoa. A little bit going on that kick. All right, we got Chicago. Williams alone in the shotgun, takes the snap, looking, throws to his right, finds a wide open DJ Moore, stiff arms a man to the 40, 35, and finally taken down at the 31 of Minnesota. All right, man. This Bears offense, man, is having some. There's a little bit of firepower here, man. They had talent, man. That was probably the most disappointing thing about what happened last year, is the amount of talent that they had on both sides of the ball, and it just looked so dysfunctional. All right, a little bit of an adjustment. Williams now under center, single back in the backfield. Hands off. Get to the DJ Moore, and he'll be good for about 2 down to the 30. DJ Moore in motion, and it looks like they're going to be flagged for a false start here. DJ kind of faked like he was basically flinched, like he was going to go upfield here. I don't know if that was a timing thing or if he kind of went off the script. So that'll move Chicago back here just a bit. That'll move him back to the 35 of Minnesota. Chicago in the shotgun. 2 receivers stacked up on that left side. Caleb looking, gets out of a sack, rolls to his left, breaks another tackle. He's going to spin move his way across the 30 down to the 28. We finally got our spin move. Let's go. Wasn't able to stay on his feet after the spin move, but heck, nice little move. Damn, dude. Holy cow, that was a heck of a move to avoid that sack. And that was Ivan Pace Jr. trying to bring him down in the pocket. And we got another flag here. I think, again, it's going to be on Chicago for a false start. That's the 3rd one today. We have each other one on the total picks correct for the season over years. I won last year. Hey, there we go. There we go. Good job, man. And spin move. All right, back to the 32 after the penalty. Tight end in motion, handoff up the middle. This one is DeAndre Swift, who will get it across the 25, down to the 24. All right, so the weird thing here, okay, I thought they were going to go for it. I was like, what is going on with Chicago here? They're about to go for it on fourth down. All right, but they did take a timeout. I think they just wanted to reassess what the play was. They wanted to see what probably the personnel that Minnesota was going to go with. So they used their second timeout here. Caleb looking, throws over the middle, and it was nowhere near any player. He's trying to get it to DJ Moore, and wow, that was a misfire by Chicago. Yeah, that was closer to being picked off than anything else. Interesting decision to go for it instead of just taking the points, taking the 7-point lead, reestablishing a 7-point lead as well. So the backup quarterback for Minnesota is Carson Wentz. Okay. Did he get traded there or did he sign? I'm trying to remember. No, he signed. Okay. I was like, who was their backup quarterback before? Because I knew they had somebody else besides Carson Wentz. And I forgot, they traded for Sam Howell during the draft. They traded a fifth and from. Yeah, they traded their fifth and they got a fifth in return and Howell. And then a couple months later, they just traded Howell to the Eagles for a fifth and a seventh. Wow. Wild. Poor Sam Howell, man. He didn't even get a chance. JJ under center sends Jones in motion, who gets the handoff to the left. Lil swing, and Jones may have gotten about a yard. Was it a throw so bad that the Browns tried to sign before their. Oh man, I mean, just saying, man. I guess if you have the room on the roster, you'd be like, you know what, that ball almost made a play. They'd be like, hey, it's closer than some of these guys that we have on the roster. Get them in there. McCarthy in the shotgun throws, gets TJ Hawkinson down to the 30, gain of about 4 on the catch and throw. Oh, hello. All right. JJ looking, throwing, third down, short of the markers. It's going to be Jefferson. It was 3rd and 4. They needed to get that first down, man, and Justin Jefferson catching it just 3 yards up the field, and the Chicago defense swarming to the ball carrier, bringing them down before he can get a first. So another punt for Minnesota, man. Not a great punt either. Ball is going to be spotted somewhere around the 30. Yeah, man. But going back to that throw that you were talking about, man, I think it was a throw that was bad enough that they want to give it a fully guaranteed contract. You know, the ball's just sitting there on the table, trying to negotiate a contract, and the Browns are like, all right, you haven't said anything here, so I know you're playing hardball. So how about $500 million guaranteed over 10 years? Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-da. So when I was while we're on the commercial break here, David, hey, nice. So we're on a commercial break here, like just kind of talking about some of the games that we saw on the channel here. Like Chicago um, is going to be going up against Detroit next week. So Ben Johnson going to be going up against his former employer. And both of these teams, depending on what happens tonight, could be. I don't want to put too much pressure on the week 2 matchup, but that's going to be big, man. It's a division game. The last thing you want to be is 0-2 in the division. That's if Chicago loses here tonight. But yeah, man, it's going to be interesting to see how the divisions shake out, man, because you got You got Caleb looking good. You got JJ and this offense struggling immensely. All right, Caleb under center here, tight end in motion to the left, single back in the backfield. Caleb looking, throws, and the ball is batted at the line, incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up. And you know Ben Johnson is going to want to bring out something really creative. He's going to want to have a very, very strong game against Detroit. And I don't even think it's more of like, I want to beat them just because, they didn't give me a head coaching job or whatever. No, I don't think it's that. I think it's just more of like, hey, let's have a little fun with my former, boss, my former team. Caleb, play action, pressured, rolling to his right. He's going to throw it down the field, and oh my goodness, just slightly overthrew his receiver. And that is Zacchaeus, the former Washington Commander. Oh, and that play wouldn't have even counted. There was a holding penalty on Chicago. This offensive line, man, is... I think they have had 2 false starts and now another holding penalty. But hey, they drafted a tight end in the top 10. Sorry, I keep on going back to that Chicago Bears fan, man. The look on his face was just utter disgust when he heard Loveland got drafted top 10. I was like, ooh. All right. Chicago in the shotgun. Romadunze in motion to the left. Williams looking, is going to try to escape the pocket and oh my God, he gets out of a sack. He breaks another tackle and will pick up just about 2 or 3 yards on the QB scramble. Dude, I thought they had him at the 20. Either way, it was a bad play, man, by Chicago. So 4th down coming up. All right, man. Apparently, I spoke too soon, saying Chicago's offense looks good. It does not. And it's going to be picked up on the bounce, and Price picking up a couple yards on the run here on the return. That went from an absolute disaster to a minor fail ball. Yeah, dude. I mean, Caleb is a slippery guy, man. He escaped a lot of potential sacks last year. I still remember, I forgot what game it was. Was it Detroit? There was a game, man. He easily broke like 5 or 6 tackles behind the line. And then he found somebody down the field. And he threw it. And the receiver dropped it. After all of that. And it was a good throw. It was a good pass. Everything should have been fine. But yeah, dude. And just the disappointment when Caleb got back to the bench. I think that was the one where you saw him just go. Clearly just exhausted from running around and just dejected from just absolutely just getting stomped and the inability of them to move the ball down the field. Yeah, man. I like I said, I feel for Caleb. Guy seems like a good dude and incredible and just an incredible athlete. Good, looks like a solid quarterback, but man, dude, there's just something that's not connecting, or at least something that didn't connect last year. And you're starting to see a little bit of it here. I think part of it is the offensive line. I think part of it is it's a new scheme as well. And I think Caleb just needs to kind of trust a little bit of the process. I think they also need to start getting the running game going. Like, you have DeAndre Swift. What is going on? I don't think I remember seeing them run the ball with Swift. Yeah, like right now, let's look at the stats. So Swift, obviously, actually not having a great night, 4 for 8. But DJ Moore, 2 for 6. Caleb is the leading rusher with 4 runs for 32 yards. And he has the touchdown as well. So, like, I get it, but you have to do something with your running backs. You got to be creative. Find ways to get them open. And I'm saying use them in the passing game as well. JJ under center, hands it off to Mason, who breaks the tackle right at the goal line to the 30 and taken down, but not after getting a first down. Dude, Jordan Mason, man, he seems to be able to get to his top speed so damn quick. But there is a flag on the field, and it's going to be a penalty on Minnesota. There's a holding call. Yeah, it looks like the guard there, the left guard, just got beat. All right, I think there's a little bit of a miscommunication here. And the throw is going to be batted at the line. McCarthy unable to find anybody. Looks like there was a little bit of a miscommunication because initially Jefferson was running to the left side and McCarthy was like, no, over here. And then you can clearly tell McCarthy was just like, all right, he's not listening to me, so let's just go. I like Jaden Daniels more than Caleb, and I like both more than Joe Buck. Dang, Joe Buck catching strays around here. And it's going to be a throw and another one incomplete. This time I think it was tipped just as the ball was moving forward. Dude, these offensive lines suck right now. Like, both of these quarterbacks have had to run a little bit more than they should. So, yeah, that one was nearly a fumble there. Luckily, McCarthy's arm was moving forward. All right, we got 3rd and 20. And it's going to be a delay of game on the Vikings here. So O'Connell was trying to talk to the referees because it looks like the play clock was not reset. And he was, doing the motion like, hey, reset the play clock. All right, ball at the 9. 3rd and 20. McCarthy throws, has to get it out quick, gets it to Mason, who will get it out across the 15 down to the 16. And that's a gain of only about 7, well short of the first down. And we're going to see another Minnesota punt. Offensive line, more like offensive dots, basically, dude. Jesus. It's been rough. And this coming from a Packer fan, like, I don't want to see games like this. Jesus. I want to see some competence. I think that might have been your most dad joke of the night, my friend. Oh, or actually of the week. Offensive lines. More like offensive dots. All right, Caleb under center, gets the handoff, and Swift taken down after a gain of about 4. All right, ball at the 45. Caleb under center, single back in the backfield. Looks like a 2 tight end set, and jeez, it's gonna be a false start on Chicago. They had 2 offensive linemen just jump. Dude, this is painful to watch, man. What the what is going on with these offensive lines? There has to be something. It's like nobody is these like it's a holding call. I get it, that's totally different. But like the amount of times that they're jumping before the snap. Caleb in the shotgun, ball at the 40, quick throw over the middle, gets it to his receiver who will get the first down, and in Minnesota territory, out across the 45, down to the 43. And that is the former commander, Zacchaeus, with a nice pickup. All right, officially at the 44 of Minnesota. Caleb in under center. Nice little toss to the left. And they're trying to get Swift going, and he'll get it down to the 41. All right, I like the toss, man, especially with a guy like Swift. You want to get him kind of getting to his top speed as he's hitting the line. I think that one was solid. Now you just got to open up some more lanes for him. Easier said than done. Overlord Rex Skull. Oh, man, dude. Minnesota fans, welcome, welcome. Hey, man, that offense needs to get going, man. Handoff to Swift. He's going to get only about a yard down to the 40. Jeez. I mean, the Minnesota defensive line is doing a great job. That offensive line for them is not. But welcome, everybody. Seastrom! Good morning. Do my eyes deceive me, or are the Bears winning? They are winning, but that touchdown was on the first drive, basically early in the first quarter. Since then, there has been very little offense for either of these teams. I think Chicago has punted on each of their last 2 drives there, or it might have been actually 3. Actually, no, punted twice, and then they also turned it over on downs. And Minnesota's offense has been struggling. Both offensive lines are not doing a great job of protecting their quarterbacks. A lot of penalties for each offensive line. We're not sweating it. JJ is essentially a rookie, which is true. Very true. Yeah, he didn't even, I think, what did he get hurt in the second preseason game last year? Both of the quarterbacks I think, are young. They're still learning. JJ, he surprised me with his athleticism. I think it's a very underrated, something that you don't really hear people talk about. I think I was trying to mention that earlier in the game. People always see him as like a game manager. That's why some people were confused why he was drafted so early. But the kid has a good arm. He has great athleticism. I've seen him break a couple sacks in this game already, and he just needs to really get going. I think there's just That offensive line hasn't given him a lot of time to find weapons down the field. But I think if they can kind of shore some of that up and get the running game going, once again, neither running game has really been great. Jordan Mason has been, I think, the best back in the game for both teams, honestly. But we'll see. The Bears are winning. Yes, they are. Neither team looks very good, and I am okay with that. Me too, man. As a Packer fan, this is enjoyable, but as a person that's talking about it and streaming it, it is painful to watch right now. I'm just hoping somebody just throws a deep ball and they accidentally catch it in the end zone. That's what I'm hoping for. But yeah, if you're just joining us, please like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 100 before October. It helps out immensely. Thank you so much for watching regardless. Caleb in the shotgun, looking, throwing to his right. He finds Zacchaeus again, who seems to be his favorite target and most productive target. And Zacchaeus gets a first down for Chicago. But welcome, everybody. Yeah, this is the first full NFL game. He's doing fine. He just needs to work on his consistency. If he had Addison, absolutely, yeah. They are missing weapons. I will say that for sure. And like I said, I don't think McCarthy is the issue in this game. Like everything he's done pretty well. He's had a couple passes batted. He's also had a lot of pressure in his face. And Caleb hands it off to Swift to the left side, and will pick up about 3, maybe 4 yards. And Swift is having a tough night, man. He can't seem to find a whole lot of running room right now. But yeah, Seastrom, welcome, dude. How you doing? Hope you're doing well, my brother. It's good to see you again. All right, Caleb under center, toss to Swift. He's going to cut up the middle and will pick up just 2 yards down to about the 27. Well, I do like that they're trying to get the running game going here. They're trying to kill some time. Oh, no. They just put the camera on JJ as he was like trying to pump himself up a little bit. He was jumping up and down, and the poor kid loses his hat. All right, Caleb in the shotgun. 3rd and 5 coming up. Caleb throws to the right, and that was a heck of a tackle, man. It's going to be 4th down. That was a Byron Murphy with a freaking just solid tackle. Forcing the 4th down. That's let me see, Byron, a former 2nd-round pick for Arizona back in 2019. He's been in the league for a while. All right, Minnesota did use their second timeout. They stopped the clock with about 28 seconds, trying to get the ball back maybe before the half, trying to see if they can tack on a field goal. I'm so glad to see our run defense battling down the hatches. Finally, a successful free agency. Hey, it's true, man. Especially in the NFC North, man, has just built over the last couple of years with the addition of Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, obviously switching over from Chicago to Detroit. Jacobs coming in free agency for the Packers, and the kick is up, and it is just barely sneaking in on that left upright. But Chicago finally makes it a 7-point lead again. They had a chance to kick a field goal earlier in the game, but they decided to go for it, and then the pass nearly got picked off. But yeah, I'm just looking at the Vikings free agency here. So they brought in Jonathan Allen. Oh, that was okay. I forgot. Yeah, man. 3 years, 51 mil. Huge. They brought in Ryan Kelly from Indianapolis as well as Will. Sorry. Yeah, Will Fry. Both those guys came in. That's why I'm also surprised that the offensive line is not it's not kind of gelling as much as it should. All right, caught at the 6, 15, 20, 25, and out across the 30 down to the 31 are the Minnesota Vikings. 24 seconds, that's enough time for pick 6 by JJ. Jesus. My goodness, man. David Stegosaurus just snatching names around here, man. Ooh, no mercy. No mercy for the young man. All right, 19 seconds left. First and 10, ball at the 31. JJ in the shotgun. 3 receivers stacked up on that right side. McCarthy looking, throwing deep down the side to the 50, to the 40, and great throw. Clock is running, but I think they're going to use their final timeout here. I think so. There we go. That was a heck of a throw. I think that was Naylor, number 1. That was a crossing route going to the left side of the field. See, this is what I was talking about, man. Get the ball down the field, man. These are young quarterbacks. Take a shot. Like, what are you doing playing it safe? Like, yeah, you don't want to lose. You don't want to be throwing picks and making dumb decisions. But, like, give these guys some options to throw downfield. They got to learn. They got to be in positions to make decisions, to make throws. Otherwise, like, you can't just be like, oh, yeah, just dump it under in 5 yards every single time. Like, no. Make them throw something down the field. If they mess up, you look at the film. What was it? Technique? Was it decision making? Was it just great coverage? Did your receiver not run the route? Like, you got to put them in these positions to take a chance, push the ball down the field. I'm not saying every time, but at least once every other drive, you got to trust them to make a throw. Just go for it. Let them learn, and you'll do it next week. You'll learn from it. Playing it safe, dumping it down to your running backs, or just giving them little hitch routes that only go 4 yards, that doesn't do anything. Get the ball down the field. Let's go. It's a 59-yard field goal attempt. The kick is up, and it is good. Holy cow, what a freaking kick. That was right down the middle, too. Let's go. Get a little excitement before the half ends here, man. 6 seconds still left on the clock, though. All right, let's see here. We got Overlord Rex. Both of our O-line pickups were injury prone. That played less than half of last year. That is true. I remember Kelly, when they signed him, people were a little... Oh, no, it was Fry, because Fry got the big contract. I remember that. People were like, why would we give this guy this much money? Indianapolis didn't want to pay for it. I was like, well, you know. Ryan Kelly seemed like it was a decent deal. 2 for 18, potentially starting guard, center for $9 million. Not too bad. Low risk. Can you put up the stream? Are you talking about the putting on the game? And the kick is away. Caught at the 6, to the 10, to the 15, 20, 25, 30. And breaks the tackle at the 35, 40, 45, 50. Down he goes. is Chicago. Not enough time left in the half. What a freaking return. Nearly took it to the house. All right, man. That was an exciting final, basically a final like minute or two in this second quarter. Offenses finally started to kind of get going a little bit, you know. I like it. Push the ball down the field, man. You got a young, relatively young team, especially a young quarterback. Like, just push the ball down the field. You got to take a few. You got to take a few chances, man. Playing it safe. I know it's early in the season, but you got to get these guys acclimated to playing in challenging NFL defenses. You just have to. All right, so here at the half, it is 10-6, Chicago on top. Uh, Chicago looked good early. They got a touchdown on their opening drive, and then after that, kind of started beginning to sputter a little bit. The offensive line making some mistakes, getting some penalties, allowing some pressure on on Caleb Williams, and still not being able to really get anything in the run game. And then on the other side, you saw Minnesota start out the game with two consecutive punts, two consecutive 3-and-outs on their drives. And then you saw a little bit of something with JJ. You started to see him throw a little bit more, get out of the pocket, run, pick up some yards. They got a field goal, and then a whole lot of nothing after that. It was just kind of sputtering for basically towards the end of the first quarter, and then a good chunk of the second quarter was both of these offenses just struggling to try to basically pick up some yards, get down the field against some pretty good defenses. All right, we've seen Minnesota, we've seen Chicago over the last couple of years, even though their teams have struggled for the most part. Obviously, Vikings actually did pretty well last year, but their defenses have always been the better part of both of these teams. And finally, towards the end of the second quarter, we started to see both of these young quarterbacks take some chances, get the ball down the field. Their receivers were getting open a little bit more, and just once you get the ball in their hands, these young, talented guys, man, DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, Zacchaeus, they have weapons. Minnesota, obviously, Naylor. You have TJ Hawkinson, who is a pretty dang good tight end. He's been around the league for a while. And, of course, Justin Jefferson. Get these quarterbacks getting used to throwing the ball down the field and getting it into these weapons, man. These guys can make things happen. But when you're kind of restricting your young quarterback to basically anything under 7 yards, you're not going to be able to move the ball down the field. Right? Like, this is not Tom Brady. This is not Peyton Manning. They're not just going to be able to just dink and dunk their way all the way down the field. Like, these young guys, you got to get them used to taking shots down the field. But again, I don't have the all 22, so I can't tell if everybody's open or if there's a guy that they're missing. That might be the case, but I don't know. To me, you gotta allow these guys to kind of open up a little bit. But yeah, let me know what you think. What has anything been popping off to you during this game? Last night's game was like a horse race. Tonight's game is like watching the tractor smooth out hey, that could be almost satisfying, right? Chiller routine could be more because bouncing. Oh no, you gotta explain yourself, David. What do you mean by that? I'm kidding. All right, man. There's a family show. Okay. All right. I'm Not a Coach is a family show. Holy cow, man. Yeah, Chicago, I forgot they traded for Jonah Jackson. Former Pro Bowler for Detroit. And then Joe Tooney, um, Patriot in Kansas City, I think, also. Yeah, both of these guys, though, they've dealt with a lot of injuries over the last couple seasons. What'd you guys think of Michael Penix, man? He had himself a pretty decent game against Tampa Bay's defense. I was impressed. I haven't gotten a chance to watch all the highlights for that game either. Um, but eventually, I'm gonna try to get to it tomorrow. Hopefully, I can do it before work. But yeah, man, that kid is interesting because he's got a cannon for a freaking arm, man, and he's got some athleticism. And just from that game, he's got some grit, man. He's not afraid to take a hit. He's willing to he's willing to lay it out, which I like. Captain Overlord Dave can't just pull it up because of copyright. Yeah, yeah. Oh, if that's what you, I wasn't sure exactly what you meant, Overlord. I wasn't sure. I didn't want to assume, but yeah. Unfortunately, I can't show the game. Even if I guarantee you, even if it's just a few seconds, there's a good chance that the stream could be taken down. And on top of that, if I do it too often, it'll probably be a strike against my channel, which I don't want to risk. But I do try to be as descriptive as I can. That's kind of why I kind of, while they're lining up, as long as the camera allows me, I try to be like, hey, shotgun, running back to his right, blah, blah, blah. Try to give you a good picture. It's kind of like radio. If you ever listen to any games on the radio there. So I try to be as descriptive as I can. I try to do my best. But yeah, when it comes to showing the game, the NFL does not like that. And YouTube, especially now because they have that, that Sunday package, they do not want to mess around and get the NFL on them for, streamers showing the game. So yeah, unfortunately, that is a no-go. He's asking if you can pull up the stream of the NFL game. I think that might have been the case, but yeah, unfortunately, that's a no. Unfortunately, but yeah, I'm just trying to look at who else Chicago drafted besides Loveland. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't hear a whole lot of good things from their draft. It wasn't a terrible draft because they picked up some defensive help. They picked up some offensive linemen as well. Yeah, but I'm not seeing many of these players right now on the field. That's why I'm a little confused. But hmm. But yeah, if you guys are new to the channel, please leave a like and subscribe, man. We're trying to get to 100 before October. We stream every primetime game, every Packer game. And we also have some great people in the chat, man. So definitely get a chance if you can. Get in the chat, man. We got some great people. All right. While we're still at halftime, let's break down. Let's look at some of the stats here really quickly. So JJ just let me double check here. Yeah, JJ 5 for 8 for just 48 yards through the air. Like I said, he's not been the issue really at all. I've only seen one throw where I could say that was probably not a great decision, but it wasn't even close to being picked. It was just a little bit of a odd throw. He's had a couple batted at the line. He's had a pretty much almost every time he's dropped back, there's been some pressure in his face, or kind of he's had to dodge a couple times. He's been sacked, I think, twice in this game so far, or at least once. That's when he kind of did the somersault at the beginning of the game. The running game really hasn't been getting going. Jordan Mason just 4 for 14. He's been the most effective back. Aaron Jones, 3 carries for just 6 yards. JJ does have an 11-yard run. He did have another run that got a first down, but it was brought back because of a holding penalty. Jalen Naylor, the biggest by far catch and run of the game, 1 for 28 that set up the field goal before the half. And then Jordan Mason is the next basically receiver with the best amount of yardage, just 1 for 7. Otherwise, everybody else is 1 or for less yardage. Man, it's pretty wild. Oh my goodness, sorry, allergies, man, they're killing me. Yeah, Justin Jefferson just held to 1 catch for 4 yards. That's gonna be frustrating for him. And then let's look at the Bears' offensive stats. Caleb 13 for 16, $112 through the air, no touchdowns, no picks. Caleb also the leading rusher for Chicago, 4 for 32. That also means that he's the leading rusher in this game. DeAndre Swift 9 for 22, just less than 2.5 yards per carry. Caleb also does have the rushing touchdown, which is the only touchdown so far in this game. DJ Moore has had a couple carries at running back, 2 for 6. DJ Moore is the leading receiver, 2 for 35 through the air. Zacchaeus with 3 for 30. Romadunze 3 for 16. And Swift picking up 3 catches for 12 yards. Odoyingbo, probably butchered that name, has a sack, as well as Gervin Dexter Sr. also picked up a sack. So, yeah, McCarthy was taken down twice. So, nothing too crazy. Obviously, clearly, Chicago seems to be getting the ball, playing a little bit better than Minnesota. But, I mean, it's minuscule. The pressure has still been there for Caleb. He's had to scramble a lot more. He's been a little bit more successful of getting positive plays out of his scrambles, being able to find guys down the field. Than McCarthy. All right, looks like we're coming back here. Chicago picking up at the 1-yard line to the 15, to the 20, and taken down at the 22 is where Chicago will start the second half. Jalen Naylor, I hardly know her. You're the man. I know, dude. Every time I say that name, that's the joke that always goes through my brain. I have to censor myself. Hey, come on, David. This is a family show. Come on. I told you. This is a family show. How dare you, sir? All right. Barney and Friends. I'm not a coach. Family show. All right. Caleb under center, looking to his left, pumping, throwing underneath, and trying to find DeAndre Swift, who is unable to haul that one in. Second and 10 coming up. Ben Johnson has like the look on his face is like, what is going on here? This didn't happen in Detroit. All right. Fullback, running back in the backfield. Receiver in motion. Caleb under center. Fakes the handoff. Looking. Throws to his right and unable to connect with Cole Kmet. And that'll bring up another 3rd and long for Chicago on the night. Jalen Naylor. Caleb in the shotgun. 3 receivers to the left. Running back to his right. Caleb looking, throwing, and not on the same page as Zacchaeus. Also, definitely some pressure in Williams' face. Ball just hit the dirt. Basically just threw it at Zacchaeus' feet. Ooh. Caleb nearly got sandwiched by 2 of his offensive linemen getting pushed back into him. All right, well, that was a quick 3 and out for Chicago, man. They're going to punt this one away, and we're going to see if this Minnesota offense can get on track, man. And it's going to be to the 40, 45, across the 50, down to the 48 of Chicago. A phenomenal return by the Minnesota Vikings. Heck of a job, man. And that was the rookie Miles Pace, undrafted out of Texas. Oh, sorry. He went to Texas Tech, but he also finished his career in Indiana, at the University of Indiana. I commit on the 3rd and long, but you said this is a family show now, so cute kittens and puppy dogs. Aw. No, okay. McCarthy under center here, fakes the handoff, looking, throwing down the field, but is hit as he throws, and the pass will be incomplete. All right, you know what, David? You convinced me. Forget the family show. Let's get edgy. We're an edgy show now. All right, looks like there was a penalty on Chicago here. Looks like they're going to get him for roughing the passer. Oh, Jesus. Well, McCarthy, I think, just got his welcome to the NFL, kid. He ended up with his chin guard all up in his nose. All right, McCarthy under center, single receiver to the left, single back in the backfield. Hands it off to Jones, who is going to be taken down right at the line of scrimmage. And that was a Brand coming off the edge there. Looked like he read that one right away, man. He was already sprinting before that ball was snapped. McCarthy in the shotgun, single receiver to the right. Ball to the 34. Jones gets the handoff, and he's going to try to cut it back and picks up about 2 down to the 31. Chris Lasso. Good evening, sir. How are you, man? It's good to see you. What's going on, my dude? How you enjoying the game? Oh, yeah. Oh, man, I forgot my shades. Forgot them in the car. Hold on. What's up, my dog? Hope you're doing well, man. Good to see you, dude. Are you watching the game? All right, we got 3rd and 8, ball at the 32. McCarthy in the shotgun, looking to his left. He throws a ball. He's picked to the 20. Oh, my goodness. 50, 40, 35, 30, and it's a pick six for Chicago. Oh, my goodness. Oh, man, that was a rough decision by the young man. Just let that one drift. I don't think that was even going to get to his receiver. Wow. Well, David, we got our pick six. Let's see here. I'm trying to see who that was. That was Nashawn Wright, 3rd round pick out of Oregon State. Was drafted by Dallas back in 2021. Kick is up, and the extra point is good, and the Chicago Bears have a commanding 17-6 lead over the Minnesota Vikings here. Oh, trying to get it to Justin Jefferson. It did not work out. Woo! Hoo-hoo! Seastrom! Wow. Can I see that again? Oh, man. I don't think Minnesota fans want to see that again. That was a rough one. But hey, man, that's how you learn. That's how you learn in this league, making mistakes. With the coaching staff that they have in Minnesota, that's going to be something they'll figure it out in the film, and JJ is going to learn from it, man. But that's rough, man. Your first interception in the league is a pick six against a division rival on Monday night. Dang, I don't know if I ever seen the Bears look quite like this. Oh, man. I mean, the Bears' defenses look good. The offense, like I said, they need to kind of get going here. They need to push the ball down the field. They have way too many weapons to be this kind of almost pedestrian at times. I feel like the Packers fans must be having the best weekend so far. Well, yeah, we are. It's great, man. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, we beat Detroit. I mean, we stomped Detroit. It could be week one jitters, blah blah blah. The Packers have been stomped before in week one, and we always had a good season after that. But yeah, it was great to be able to just beat the heck out of Detroit, like physically. It's been phenomenal. And then seeing both of these teams just kind of stumble for most of the game, it makes me feel pretty confident that we might be able to win the division finally after a couple of years. David, just say it. Seastrom, go back, go. Yeah, man. It's been fun, man. It's been fun. But again, the NFL season is long, man. It's long. 18 weeks. 18 weeks is a long time, man. It can humble you. So I never try to ride too high. I just enjoy the week, man. I just enjoy the football, enjoy the storyline. But yeah, this is a fun week for Packer fans. And the kickoff is going to be caught at the 2, 15, 20, 25, and taken down around the 29. I believe that was the running back Chandler with the return. Chandler Bing. All right, man. Minnesota's offense back on the field. All right, JJ under center, single back in the backfield, single receiver to the right. Toss to Jones on the left side. That's actually Mason. And he'll pick up about 3 yards down to the 31. All right, Mason in the backfield, McCarthy under center. Sends Jefferson in motion. Play action, looking, pressured, and he goes down for another sack back at the 25. Oh boy. Now you're starting to see the Chicago defense just pin their ears back, forcing a 3rd and long again for this young quarterback. Man, he has just been taking grenades in the pocket. All right, McCarthy alone in the shotgun, trying to get the snap out. Ooh. And it's going to be a delay of game. Ryan Kelly not hearing his quarterback, basically trying to get him to snap the ball. Yeah, you can literally see J.J. McCarthy say, "Snap it," as he's like clapping as loud as he possibly can. It's getting loud in Chicago, man. And it's getting loud for this young quarterback. All right, that moves the ball back to the 19. 2 receivers to the left in the shotgun. Delayed handoff, and Jordan Mason just gets absolutely swallowed up in the backfield. Loss of 3. I mean, JJ is still a rookie after all intents and purposes, so his performance isn't horrible. He's doing better than Tua did on Sunday. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, that's why I said that interception, that pick 6, that's something that him and O'Connell are going to look over. O'Connell is a former quarterback. And it's going to be caught at the 29. The punt is going to be returned around past the 35. So Caleb Williams and this offense are going to have some decent positioning when they get on the field. But going back to McCarthy, you're going to have games like this, especially when you're a young rookie quarterback. This is not terrible. I think like I said, the pressure has been consistent. The mistakes by other players, false starts, not snapping the ball, things like that. Those are being done by veteran players that should be knowing a little bit better, in my opinion. And when the supporting staff is not doing an amazing job, your rookie quarterback is gonna struggle just a little bit. But yeah, like I said, O'Connell is gonna be able to fix this here. He's gonna talk to him. They speak the same language. They play quarterback. They're gonna know what to do. So, also, I'm trying to remember who's the quarterback coach for the Vikings. Because I know Josh McCown. There we go. Okay, so yeah, just another former quarterback that played a long time in the league. Yeah. So Josh McCown, Kevin O'Connell, man, JJ will be fine. Mike Pettin is assistant head coach. Dude, this guy's bounced around all over the NFC, the NFC North, I should say, because he was the Packers, DC. Then he went over to Chicago after he got let go for a season, and now he's been with Minnesota since 2022. Yeah, but again, this is week one. Well, I'm not gonna judge what this either of these teams are gonna look like just based off of one game. But it's you want them to be playing a little bit more consistent in terms of just being able to avoid penalties. Those are the biggest concerns. Like the stuff on the field is not great. You're a professional. You want to be able to play a lot better, even if it is week one. But it's the penalties that are the most concerning. Because as a Packer fan, trust me, we've had some like. Thankfully, we've been successful with our play that has been able to overcome some of the penalties. But there's been some seasons where the Packers just, I was like, Jesus, man, like you could see it in week one. It was a lot of penalties, a lot of dumb penalties that would wipe away positive yards, and then it just didn't get significantly better as the season went on, and the Packers ended up paying for it eventually. Caleb under center, toss to Swift. He's trying to find some room. Was almost met in the backfield by about three Minnesota Vikings, and is able to get roughly back to the line of scrimmage. But I'm more positive outlook here. Both of these defenses not playing too bad. uh, Vikings haven't scored a touchdown. Chicago's defense is looking good. And Minnesota has only given up 10 points, technically. Caleb, play action, looking, throws to his left. Wide open is DJ Moore down that left sideline. Nice little tiptoe catch before going out of bounds. There you go, man. Push the ball down the field, man. Get these guys in position. All right, it'll be 1st and 10, ball at the 42. Caleb, play action, throws to his receiver down to the right side, but he'll be knocked down for a loss. Trying to do a little bubble screen, but the former Miami Dolphin Van Ginkel able to sniff that one out. Van Ginkel was a phenomenal pickup for them last year, man. This dude's September was some of the best football I've seen out of a linebacker. Just his ability was just, he was literally all over the dang field last year to begin the season. Caleb in the shotgun, throws to his left, and once again, him and Zacchaeus unable to connect. That is the second consecutive time that he's thrown to Zacchaeus, and it's ended up at his feet. So it'll be 3rd and 13 coming up. Oh, okay, never mind. Ball was tipped. That's why. Oh, holy cow. And Van Ginkel nearly landed on his head. He had a DeAndre Swift try to tackle him low and ended up taking out his. Van Ginkel was in the air, had his feet taken out from under him, and almost landed right on his head. Jeez. It's going to be a throw to, I believe, Loveland. And the kid is only going to be able to pick up about 4 yards. And we have another 4th down coming up. And Chris Chris, Van Ginkel is a beast. Absolutely, man. Yeah, dude, he has been phenomenal since he signed with Minnesota last year. He was a guy that I remember the Packers, I think, were in talks to sign, but they just never worked out. I'm not sure what his contract was. Let me see here. Wonder if it says anything. And the punt is away. It'll be caught at the 6, to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, and taken down finally at the 23. So a good return for Minnesota. Yeah, he signed a 2-year, $20 million contract, which is cheap as heck for what he was doing. And then he signed a 1-year extension worth $23 million. So basically that new contract turned into a 3-year, $43 million contract. Yeah, let's see his stats last year. First year in Minnesota, 11 and a half sacks, 18 tackles for a loss, 2 interceptions, and 2 defensive touchdowns, man. That's some Pro Bowl numbers right there. Yeah, before that, his best season in Miami when it came to stats was probably his last one, actually, where he only played 11 games. Oh, sorry, actually, no, he played 17. 6 sacks, 1 pick, and he brought that one for a touchdown. So, yeah. Yeah, Van Ginkel, man. Absolute animal. I really like the linebackers that Minnesota has, man. It's annoying how good they are. Because Van Ginkel wasn't the only big pickup that they had. Last year they signed Grenard, a 4-year, $74 million contract, and that guy produced 12 sacks, and he was just all over the field, man. Just getting to the quarterback, just disrupting it. I remember against the Packers, I think he sacked Love only once in that last season, but there were so many times where he was just all over Love, just pressuring him. But yeah. All right. So we are about to start. What the heck am I doing? So we got 7:14 left in the third. JJ under center, play action, immediately needs to get the ball out, and TJ Hawkinson, so far they're saying it's a catch for 2 yards, but Chicago ended up with the ball. We're going to see what happened here. Okay, he's down by contact though because his knees were down. Yeah, granted he had one knee off the ground, but one of them is clearly down on the ground and touched by the defender. That's not a fumble. It's a great play by Sewell, though. Like if Hawkinson had that second knee up, that's 100% a fumble and a recovery by Chicago. But And we're going to go to commercial break. Dang it. NFL never misses a chance to make some money, huh? I vote we rule it fumble just because it's the Vikings. Once again, the king of chaos. You know what, David? I agree with you, man. Let's go. It's a fumble. But do we give them the touchdown on the return of the fumble? Or is that too much? All right. Not gonna lie, man. This third quarter is dragging a little bit, man. Holy cow! Feel like it's been like 40% commercials. All right, we're back from the commercial break here, but I think they're taking a little too long here on this decision. All right, there we go. McCarthy under center, single receiver to the right. Play action. Trying to get it to Jones on the screen. Able to get away from one defender and will pick up some decent yardage. And that'll set up a 3rd and short here for J.J. McCarthy. So far, the Vikings are 0 for 7 on 3rd down, man. Holy cow. No touchdown on the return. Make the Bears work for it. Now, you can't do that to them, man. They're never going to score a touchdown. All right. JJ looking, throwing to the right. Finds somebody, but I think it's going to be dropped after taking that hit. Was that Adam Thielen? That was, man. That is the Minnesota legend. Come back. Trying to haul it in, but took an absolute shot in the back. And the ball just squirts right out. So another punt coming up. And Minnesota is now 0 for 8 on 3rd down. Fair caught at the 22. And we're going to see Caleb Williams try to see if he can get this offense going, man. Caleb under center, single back in the backfield. Swift up the middle with arguably his best run of the night. Will pick up 9 yards. Woo! Let's go. There you go. There you go. Swift able to find that gap in the middle and just lower the shoulder and just kept turning those legs. Second and 1. Ball at the 34. Caleb looking, dumping it underneath to DJ Moore, and he'll be good for the first down. Barely got the yard that they needed. Yeah, Minnesota did a really good job of swarming to bring down DJ, because it looked initially like, oh yeah, he's going to get the first down, and then you just see 2 or 3 other guys just come into the screen. All right, ball shy of the 35, but still a 1st and 10. Caleb looking, tossing it to Swift, who goes up the middle and is going to have another decent run. This one a gain of 4, maybe 5. All right, McCarthy, my goodness. Williams, play action, has to run to his right. He's going to outrun everybody to the 50 and in Minnesota territory, and we'll get another first down for Chicago. You know who Caleb kind of it's not the way the running form, it's just the way his legs look. He runs almost like Pat Mahomes. He's got little steps. He's a lot faster than Mahomes, I think, though. And Minnesota has a player down on the field that is the linebacker Blake Cashman, number 51. He's down on one knee, so hopefully it's nothing too serious. I think he was the guy that was actually chasing Williams from the very beginning. Oh, he came up on, might have pulled something. Ooh. And David Blake, give me that cash, man. I like it. And it's going to be a handoff to Swift on that left side. He stays on his feet and is fighting for every dang yard he can. Picks up only 2, though. So Blake Cashman was actually going to go into the blue tent, but he has to stay outside because Ryan Kelly, the starting center for Minnesota, is in there being checked out. So Williams under center, hands it off to Swift. This one, he cuts it to the left, breaks another tackle, gets the first down to the 40-35, and taken down at the 34. The best run of the night for DeAndre Swift, and he is starting to get going. The gaps are opening up. Yeah, the initial run was to the right, but then he saw nothing there, and then he just cut it back to the left and got a bunch of space, broke a tackle, and to spring himself loose, and then I think he got almost broke another tackle after picking up the first down, but taken down. 1st and 10, ball at the 34. Williams under center. Single receiver to the left, and we're going to have a penalty. And I think it's actually going to be on Minnesota for encroachment here. Yeah, the way Blake was running after Williams, that's what he was probably asking. Give me that cash, man. And that's going to be on Javon Hargrave, the veteran defensive tackle. I think that's actually the first penalty on Minnesota's defense on the night. Williams under center, hands off to Swift, who barrels through a defender and is going to get the first down, man. Dang, dude, that was a violent collision. But he stayed low and just kept those legs churning. Dang, that was rough, man. Isaiah Rodgers was the guy that initially made contact with Swift, but by the end of it, he was just being dragged along. All right, fakes the handoff. Williams looking, has some time. Will find DeAndre Swift to the 20, to the 15, and will be near the 10, but I think he might have stepped out just before. But he did get a first down. Oh, no, there's a flag. And it's going to be on Chicago. That'll wipe away a great catch and run by Swift. Another penalty on the Chicago offensive line. Yeah, and it's on the former first round pick, 58 right. Chicago, 8 penalties for 97 yards, man. A good chunk of them on that offensive line. 2 receivers stacked up on the right. Caleb in the shotgun, running back to his right. Looking, over the middle and unable to connect with his tight end. I believe that was actually Loveland who he was trying to connect with. Actually, no, that was Cole Kmet, number 85. Oh, just the timing was off, man. That's a miss. That's a miss by Caleb because there was no defender within 7 to 9 yards of Cole Kmet, man. That's as open as you can get. Romadunze in motion to the right. Caleb in the shotgun looking, pressured, rolling out to his left. And he's going to stumble over his own feet. Tries to get rid of the ball. And I think they're going to have a discussion whether that is a flag. And the pressure applied by Eric Wilson, the former Green Bay Packer linebacker. Yeah, that was an intentional grounding. That's what I thought. We have 5 seconds left in this third quarter. All right, so after the holding penalty, after the bad play, and then on top of that, the intentional grounding, it'll be 3rd and 30 back at the 44. They're just going to throw it to Zacchaeus, see how many yards he can get, and he's going to get it at least near field goal range here. And that is the final play of the third quarter. We are headed to the 4th. Let's go. C-Strom, y'all have a good night. Get some sleep. Absolutely, man. Thank you for staying up, man. I appreciate you. And I'll catch you guys on Thursday for Commanders and Packers on Prime Video, man. Should be a friggin' great game. This third quarter lasting so long, it might need to see a doctor. Absolutely, man. Jesus. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure the first two quarters, I think it was we were already at halftime by maybe like 8:30. Like this quarter lasted almost an hour, man. So, what do you guys think of this movie that's coming out called Him? It's like that. So it's not directed by Jordan Peele, but he's producing it. It's like a horror movie with a little bit like a psychological horror movie with like some football. It's one of those movies where visually it looks like they're trying to be absolutely crazy. They got some crazy visuals. Camera work is wild. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting, but it just feels like it's a movie. It's either going to be a very good movie that you're going to want to have to watch maybe a couple times to catch everything, and then it's going to just get better as the more you watch it, or it's going to be one of those movies where you're like, oh, they were trying to do something interesting, but they didn't. I don't know. I like Jordan Peele though. Again, he's not directing it, but it looks interesting. I don't know, curious. But yeah, it's a little bit football related. So yeah, let me know if you've seen any of those commercials and does it interest you. Let me know. All right, Chicago Santos in for this kick to try to make it a 14-point game. Santos kick is up and no good. Holy cow, man. That thing looked straight for about half a second and then it just said nope. I was not I don't know. Mm. Jesus, man. The Vikings offensive yardage is just 85. JJ under center, single back in the backfield, hands it off to believe to Mason, who goes up the middle, breaks a tackle, goes across the 45 and down to about the 48, nearing midfield here. Yeah, so far Jordan Mason, so far he's looking good. So Blake Cashman is officially out with a hamstring injury. McCarthy hands it off to Mason, who gets loose to the 50, 45, 40, 35 before being taken down from behind. Oh, that's going to be a clip. Oh, crap. Great blocking by TJ Hawkinson there on the right side, bringing them loose. Best run of the night for Minnesota. McCarthy under center, fakes the handoff, looking, throwing to the left, and he finds Justin Jefferson with a toe-tapping touch right on that left sideline, man. Heck yeah, they are in the red zone. Let's freaking go. Some excitement, man, finally. And on top of that, a guy in his face took a hit. McCarthy delivering a freaking dime down the sidelines. Let's freaking go. McCarthy under center. Hands it off to Mason, who runs to the left, gets loose, and is out across the 15 down to the 13. All right, man. This is what we've been waiting for. It's a fake toss to the right, rolling to his left, and the pass is blocked. Great job by Sweat. Also, David, I gotta apologize, man. I did not get that joke when I initially read your comment. Blue pill. I gotcha. Sorry, man. Unbelievable. Double innuendos just apparently went over my head on that one. All right. Shotgun, 3 receivers to the right. McCarthy looking, has time over the middle, and he finds Justin Jefferson in the end zone for the first touchdown of the game for the Minnesota Vikings. And on top of that, that is the first touchdown throw for the young second-year quarterback out of Michigan, J.J. McCarthy. And it was, ooh, man, let's see this window. Woo! That's a good throw. 6 plays, 60 yards. Oh my goodness. Heck of a touchdown drive. All right. Minnesota going for 2. JJ looking, pressured, and he's going to be sacked. No, he throws the ball, and it's intercepted in the end zone. But there is a flag on the field as well. Illegal hands to the face, Minnesota Vikings. Sorry, Chicago. And Minnesota will have a second opportunity here, it looks like. I don't know. There wasn't a whole lot in that. I've seen significantly worse not get called. All right. Ball at the 1. TJ Hawkinson in motion. It's going to be fakes the handoff. Gets it to his tight end, who is going to be taken down right at the line. And no 2 points for the Vikings. Chicago's defense holds up. And that looks like the defender who made the tackle, man. That is Simone Biles' husband. There you go, man. All right. So we're going to see how the Bears respond, but heck of a drive, man, for Minnesota. It got a little deflated there, not getting the 2 points, but that's encouraging. You got your running game going. You got JJ going. Yeah, man, that drive right there is what you want to see almost every time, man. Like, and I know I'm stating the obvious with that sentence, but it's more about the things that, even though the things that didn't go right, like there was still pressure on that throw to Jefferson, the initial throw that got that he caught on the sidelines. But McCarthy stayed in the pocket, delivered the ball, took a hit. That's the growth. That's the stuff. Don't try to get, don't get happy feet. Don't try to just scramble and run and go off script. Stay in the pocket. There's going to be pressure, but wait for your guys to get open, especially like Jefferson. Jefferson is going to get open. He's proven it throughout his career. Like, now, all of a sudden, the guy's not going to be able to, he's not going to forget how to get open, run a route, things like that. But you got to stay in the pocket. If after about a second, you're already kind of chopping your feet and looking at the pass rush, yeah, you're going to miss your receiver that's going to get open. So stay in the pocket and then just deliver the ball, man. Caught in the end zone. It's going to be taken out by Chicago, 15-10. And whoa! Freaking got clotheslined by Eric Wilson. I think he got stopped at about the 24. Ooh. Nope, I want to see a pick six drive from the Vikings more often. Oh, don't. We'll probably see some more. We'll probably see some more. Maybe not in this game, but throughout the season, absolutely. Williams in the shotgun, ball at the 25. Looking pressured, and he's taken down for a sack. Big number 97 got there first, and then 93 finished him off. That is the first sack for the Minnesota Vikings. Actually, it was so Hargrave, number 97, was there. Oh, hold on. And a run and nowhere to go. And Eric Wilson, man, the former Packer, with a huge stop right at the line of scrimmage. I wish the Packers never let him go, man. This guy is just a great dang player. I know he was already with Minnesota before he left for Green Bay, but give him right back. Unbelievable. Number 61, Jalen Redmond, was the guy that helped Hargrave with the sack there just a few plays ago. All right, we got 3rd and 19, quick throw, and it doesn't even get to Roma Dunze. Van Ginkel able to get his hands on the ball and make a play. Oh, dude, he read that one freaking perfectly. Dude, if Van Ginkel had an extra half a step, man, he probably has a chance at a pick six on that one. All right, Minnesota able to stop the Chicago offense again and force a punt. Ball is caught at the 28, to the 35, to the 40. Makes a man miss to the 45, out across the 50, and in Chicago territory down to the 49. Ooh, baby, man. Miles Price is having himself a freaking night. The undrafted rookie out of Indiana. That is his second big return of the night, and he's had at least another one that was I think at least 15-ish yards. So he's had some really darn good ones. This isn't going so great for the Bears now. Poop sticks. Telling you, man. Telling you. All right, they still gotta. This offense still has to prove that they can do it more than just basically one time. But yeah, dude, if they can get another drive like the last one, I mean, they're in great field position already. I mean, yeah, great field position. But they gotta move the ball down the field. Let's see if they can keep that running game going. See if they can get the play action to do something as well, man. So. But this is such a Chicago thing, man. A team that you should beat, you can't. Yeah, and hopefully they still continue to have Jordan Mason out there, man. He's been the most effective back of the two. Dude, if I'm Caleb Williams, man, this has to be rough. Like, you had a season that you did last year where it was just, no matter what you did, no matter what happened, it just was awful. And now you have going up against a guy from your draft class that was drafted after you, throws a pick six, and then you're probably gonna, if they score here, you're probably gonna lose. And Aaron Jones with a handoff to the right, and he picks up his biggest run of the night. 9 yards on the carry. Oh boy. Oh boy. Down to the 41. We're starting to see this offense come alive a little bit here. JJ under center. Single receiver to the left. 2nd and 1. Play action. Looking. Has time. Throws it deep down the field. And in and out of the hands of Justin Jefferson. That ball was a little high, but it's definitely something Jefferson could have. Oh, no. So we have an injury for Chicago here. Oh, just it hit Jefferson right in the left, right in his right hand, dude, but he just couldn't get both hands on it. But unfortunately, there is an injury for Chicago. It looks like it's actually Nasham Wright who was in a position there to kind of affect a little bit of that ball. But yeah, he was holding his right leg and then just started punching the ground. So probably not a good thing. Yeah, hopefully the kid's all right, man. Yeah, Wright is also the player that got that pick six. So he was having a pretty nice night here. And now he picks up an injury. All right. Well, the good news is it looks like it was just a cramp. So I think the kid's all right. That's good. Play action. McCarthy pressure throws down the field and it'll go nowhere. But Naylor, I just met her. There's going to be a penalty on Chicago there. Pass interference. Yeah, McCarthy I think he just chucked that ball up in the air and tried to see if anybody would come down with it. There's about two guys that were just about to bring him down. I don't know, man. I think Naylor just either lost his footing and slipped, or he felt contact, so he just was like, "Let me just go down." Yeah, I don't think that was a good flag. All right, ball at the 27 here after the penalty, 1st and 10. Throws deep down the right sideline and touchdown! That is Aaron Jones with an impressive touchdown. Beautiful, beautiful catch. Heck of a throw, too, by JJ. And just like that, the Minnesota Vikings have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter on Monday night. Clean pocket and delivered. All right. Shotgun going for 2 here. 3 receivers on that right side. Quick throw, and he finds Adam Thielen, the Minnesota legend, with a 2-point conversion. And that makes it a 3-point game for the Vikings. All right, man. For Minnesota, they started the game with 2 3-and-outs and 2 punts. Now, on their last 2 drives, they have gone into the end zone to take the lead for the first time tonight. The young man out of Michigan, mean mugging his sideline and saying, "Yeah, baby." All right, man, let's go. And if you want to be technical about it, man, we've seen JJ throw 3 touchdowns in this game. The first one just went to the other team, but I'm just saying. So we got 9:46 here. Minnesota kicking this one away. It'll be in the end zone. And the Bears will take a knee to get the ball at the 30. Oh, sorry, David. Nope, don't like that. Yeah, me neither, man. I don't like it. I don't like these teams having success. They need to be ending in a tie. It's a 0-0 tie. It's going to be a run to the right, and Swift, absolutely nowhere to go. Redmond taking him down for a no gain. Chicago, they look like they are buttering on offense right now, man. In the second half, it has been just disastrous for this team. Punt, miss field goal, punt. All right, ball at the 35, shotgun, 2 receivers to the left. Williams throws over the middle, finds his man, Roma Dunze, for a gain of 13 yards and a first down. Ball will be spotted around the 48. U of Michigan is so much better than the lesser Ohio College of pretentious crybabies. Yeah, man. Also, what is a Buckeye? Huh? The heck is that? What, a walnut? Come on. All right, why not like a tiger or something, you know? Something that with some claws. All right, we got Caleb looking, scrambling, trying to get away from a bunch of defenders. He does. He's to the 40. He's still looking, and I think he stepped out of bounds before throwing that ball away. So he's going to lose some yards. And Williams is reverting back to what we saw a season ago, where it's just, and don't get me wrong, there's pressure. So that's the issue. But I feel like he's bailing on the, I don't know. I feel like he's bailing way, way too quickly. All right, Williams in the shotgun. This is going to be second and 14? Yeah, second and 14. Williams looks, throws to the right, and he nearly finds Romadunze. Ball was, that was just going to be a heck of a catch if he would have caught that. So it'll be 3rd and 14. I myself prefer purple and white Wildcats. Ooh. The Wildcats. Northwestern, man, you can't go wrong. The quick throw, and Jesus, nowhere near anybody. Pressure in his face. Caleb unable to deliver a catchable ball. He threw it basically in between 2 wide receivers, but they were both like 8 yards away from the ball. So I think there was a miscommunication on that one. Yeah, man, Brian Flores' defense has been pretty darn good the entire game. Like I said, it says 17 points for the Bears, but 7 of those came on a pick 6. So, oh my goodness, is it blocked? It's blocked. It's freaking blocked. It's not recovered. It just basically, the punt just died. It only went about 20 yards. And who else but Eric freaking Wilson, number 55, a guy who's been literally all over this dang field just making plays for Minnesota. Got a hand on it and able to take a good chunk of that power out of that kick. Like I said, man, I wish the Packers never would have let him go. Even before this game. I was like, dang it, dude. Eric Wilson was such a damn good player for us. McCarthy under center. Receiver in motion. Hand off to Mason, who cuts to the right. Cuts it over the middle. And he stays on his feet to the 45-50 and taken down in Chicago territory down to the 47. And the Minnesota Vikings are going to try to put an exclamation point on this fourth quarter. And man, dude. Ooh, Chicago's defense, man. No gap discipline, dude. They just allowed him to just go boom, boom, just literally just a single leap to the right and then bounced it upfield. Another handoff. This one, Mason. This time, Chicago able to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Oh, sorry. Not Northwestern. Scoffs. Kansas State. Oh, my goodness. My bad, man. My bad. Wait. Okay. So they are. Yeah, okay. But Northwestern is Wildcats, right? Or am I crazy? I just want to make sure I get confused, understandably. But of course, Jordy Nelson. There we go. And quick throw to the right and finds TJ Hawkinson for 9 yards. And this Minnesota offense is humming. I'm not gonna lie, man. I never knew that Kansas State was a Wildcat. I seen their logo. I just thought it was like a Bobcat or something. Which, I mean, what Wildcat is? It's just it could be anything at that point. I guess it's not very specific. McCarthy under center hands it off to Jones, who stumbles his way after taking a hit for a first down. Man, heck yeah. It wasn't sexy, man, but Aaron Jones just literally put his head down and picked up that yard. So far in this fourth quarter, Minnesota's offense, 126 yards. Chicago's offense, -1. That is ugly. All right, McCarthy under center, 3 tight end set, hands it off to his running back across to the left, and Jones able to pick up some decent yardage. All right, McCarthy under center, 3 tight end set. Jefferson alone to the left. Bootleg to the right. Finds Aaron Jones, gets a first down, and tiptoes his way for about 12 yards. And this Chicago defense is now falling apart, man. They cannot seem to be in any position to make a play. They're saying Jones stepped out of bounds a little bit earlier, but he still got the first down. So 1st and 10, ball at the 23. Hands it off to Mason, and he goes for a big loss. It'll bring up, I believe, 2nd and 12. We got 3:21 left in this game. Minnesota on top, 20-17, trying to get a 3rd consecutive touchdown drive here in the 4th. McCarthy, quick throw, gets it out to Jefferson, who breaks the tackle to the 20-15 and extends, but will be just shy of the first down. Holy cow, man. Minnesota is playing fast right now. All right, it'll be 3rd and 1. Now, if you don't get this, do you go for it on 4th down? If you kick a field goal, you're up by 6. Or do you just say, hey, we're going to take 2 cracks at it if we need to? 3rd and 1. If we can't get 2 yards on 2, if we can't get a yard on 2 tries, did we deserve it? All right, they got Jordan Mason out there. McCarthy in the shotgun. 3 receivers to the left. I expect a little play action here. McCarthy keeps it to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Minnesota! J.J. McCarthy, the man out of Michigan, puts the exclamation point on this comeback. The kid threw a pick 6 early in the game. It looked terrible for Minnesota in the first half. It did not look significantly better in the third. But in this fourth quarter, 3 consecutive touchdown drives to put this game likely out of reach. Holy cow, man. What a comeback for the Minnesota Vikings. Play action, keeper, ran it off to the right. Unbelievable. Ha. Dang, dude. Wow. Extra point is good. And the Minnesota Vikings, at one point, they were down 6-17 heading into this fourth quarter. And now they are up by 10 on the Chicago Bears, whose team it started out well. Started out really well. Offense was looking kind of good. Had a little bit of dip here and there in the first half, but they were looking good. 10 points. Their defense able to get a big pick 6. It was all coming up for Chicago. And then it has just fallen apart in the second half. They have negative yardage in the fourth. And the kick is going to go out the back of the end zone. All right. Chicago headed to the field. Yeah, touchdown throws to Jefferson, to Aaron Jones, and then running the ball himself into the end zone. Also lower the shoulder, get to run through a Chicago defender that was engaged in the block, man. Heck yeah. We got 2:53 left in the game. Williams in the shotgun. Looking, throwing. Oh my goodness, what a freaking catch. That is Cole Kmet with a diving one-handed catch. Wow, man. Ball at the 34 of Minnesota. He's got a man. Oh, my God. He had DJ Moore basically open, man. He probably wouldn't have gotten a touchdown, but it would have been inside the 10. He just overthrew him. The corner never went with him. The safety was late coming over. Actually, if he put it right on him, if he hit him in stride, that might be a touchdown. Williams, under center, running back to his right. Single receiver to the right side, ball at the 34. Williams looking, throws, overthrows DeAndre Swift. That is... Dude, you got to put it on him, man. Come on. The heck is going on here? That was a bad miss. That was a bad miss by Williams. You can't miss something like that. Shotgun. Williams looking, pressured, throws over the middle, and it goes nowhere. Romadunze looking for a flag. He's not going to get it. Oh, they got a late flag. They got a late flag on that one. Illegal contact, Minnesota. It was prior to the pass. What is up with Williams? The way he's falling is very strange to me. I've seen that a couple times. Where he's barely touched and he just falls forward into the pile. It's very strange. All right, that'll give them an automatic first down. 1st and 10, ball at the 29. Catching a break here. Pressure by Minnesota. Oh no. Oh my God. DJ Moore nearly caught a pass. First off, Williams absolutely took a shot to the head, and then DJ Moore trying to catch a pass absolutely just gets blown up, man, and he's not getting up. Oof. So like I said, Williams took a helmet-to-helmet hit by Pace. And then DJ Moore trying to catch a pass in between two defenders just gets absolutely freaking destroyed, man. Defenseless. Luckily, it didn't hit him in the head. The defender actually, I think it was a legal hit. It just looked terrible. And when it's bang bang like that, like it sucks. It probably shouldn't be a flag, but I understand why the flag is thrown. Because when it's like that quick and all you just see is a guy just crumpling after the hit. Yeah, man. Ugh. So I think the flag is actually for hitting Caleb. But right now they are attending to DJ Moore. So hopefully he's okay, man. Jesus. That Viking defender landed on Williams like he was happy to be there. Well, you know. Sometimes you just got to get the party going early, I guess. All right. Well, the good thing is DJ Moore is up on his feet. Hopefully he just got the wind knocked out of him. That's it. Nothing major. Yeah, when it was live, dude, I thought they hit him in the head. But it was basically right at the chest. Like, it was just a really good late hit. Caused an incomplete pass. And Moore is walking off the field under his own power. Oh, well, he's stopping now. Yeah, dude, DJ Moore, man, just a freaking great player. It sucks it always sucks no matter what, but, man, dude, injuries. But glad he's able to walk off the field. He's kind of hunched over on the sidelines now, but, yeah. All right, Caleb alone in the shotgun, single receiver to the right. Tight end in the slot to the left. Minnesota sends 4. Caleb looking, scrambles, runs. He's to the 10, to the 5, and he'll get to the pylon, it looks like. And that is a touch. Is it a touchdown? No signal yet. Touchdown! It looks like it's a touchdown, but there is a flag on the field, though. Oh, nope. I think he stepped out of bounds literally inches away. It's close, though. They're not really doing a great job of stopping it when his foot touches the out of bounds, but the ruling on the field is a touchdown. So there needs to be indisputable proof that he did not cross before. Boom. Yeah. There you go. So yeah, it's literally probably like about 3 or 4 inches away from the end zone. All right, so from the looks of it, I think they're going to call this one back, so it'll be well inside the 1 yard line for this play. 3 to 4 inches. I mean, hey, man, so sometimes you got to work with what you got, and something about motion in the ocean, or the boats or something like that, and All right, Caleb under center here. I'm expecting a sneak. No, fakes the pitch, throws to Romadunze wide open in the back of the end zone. Nobody went with him, and that is a touchdown throw for the Chicago Bears. All right, we got 2:02 left in this game, man. Holy cow, that was like the shortest. I'm pretty sure this drive started with 2:53 on the clock or something like that. There wasn't a whole lot of time. Maybe it was like a little over 3 minutes. I don't know. But man, this drive felt like it took forever. All right, extra point is up, and it is good. And Chicago has shrunk the deficit to 3. I'm not gonna lie, man. I don't like. Didn't really like Troy Aikman a whole lot growing up as a kid because I always felt like, especially when the Packers were going up against the Cowboys, he always seemed to have a bias, which I understand. I mean, you're a Hall of Fame quarterback for that franchise. I get it. But to be honest with you, Joe Buck never bothered me. Like, I know, like, Chris Collinsworth bothers me. Like, he ruins the game. Sometimes, even before I was doing this, I always kind of didn't always have the sound on. I usually sometimes even put, like, the people on my local radio, which are always fantastic. But yeah, like, Joe Buck never really bothered me. I always felt like he had a really good voice. Sometimes his takes would be a little off. But yeah, Troy Aikman, I think as I've grown, or maybe he's mellowed out, I don't know. he seems to bother me a lot less than when I was a kid. And the Vikings tried to take this one out. I think it was mostly just to get to past the 2-minute warning. I think Minnesota was okay with whatever happened outside of a fumble or getting stuck inside the 10. And we have reached the 2-minute warning here in this wild Monday night matchup between the Vikings and the Bears. First half was a little boring, not going to lie. It was a little, here and there. But, man, this fourth quarter, they have freaking turned it up. That's fighting words. I take Chris Collinsworth over Joe Buck every single day. I don't know, man. I think, don't get me wrong. I understand why people don't like Joe Buck. I completely understand it. Trust me. I would take, when we're talking about, if we're talking about people that are in, on TV that get paid to talk about it, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman are probably not even my top 3 of commentators duos. I will take, trying to think here, Al Michaels was always a great always a great commentator, man. I'm happy that he got paid by Amazon, but I do miss that he's not doing, more than just that Thursday night game. Al Michaels, great. I'm trying to think of who else. He's more of a basketball guy, but he does do local radio for the Packers, I think. Kevin Harlan. Kevin Harlan is a great voice, man. The guy just seems to have a great neck for finding the right thing, the right energy at the right moment. But yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Joe Buck is great. I'm just saying I don't find him as insufferable as Chris Collinsworth. And the reason Chris kind of bothers me is he's like, oh, come on. It's just the little things that just kind of the off-cuff stuff where when he's not on the script, he seems rambling to me. And I'm the only one that likes to ramble when I commentate, okay? That's my thing. Chris, you better back off, all right? There's only room for one rambler in football commentary, and that's me, okay? This freaking guy. But yeah, no. I think that's what bothers me about Chris Collinsworth. He just kind of rambles. And he tends to say the same thing about every player that's playing well. And hand off to Mason. He bounces it out to the right side and will pick up about 4 yards. All right, let's see here. All right. So Chicago used their final timeout there to stop the clock at 1:47. McCarthy under center. Handoff to Mason, and he is stopped right at the line of scrimmage. That'll set up a 3rd down play. Al Michaels, Kevin Harlan, Jim Nantz. I like Jim Nantz as well. Unfortunately, he's paired up with Tony Romo, man. I do like Greg Olson and Tony Romo as color commentators too. I don't know, man. I like Greg. Greg Olson is great. Tony Romo, at first I liked his shtick of him kind of being like, oh, hey, watch this. They're going to do this. He has gotten better. I'll say this. He's gotten better with time. but the guy talks way too freaking much, man. Like I'm not saying there needs to be dead air, but not every second needs to be filled with something. Sometimes you just let the moment, I want to hear the crowd noise too. Like during that Micah Parsons sack, like the commentators don't really need to say anything outside of there he is. Like just elevate it, but don't take the moment for yourself. And that's what Tony was doing early in his career, and I get it, probably nerves trying to do something, and it took some time. I think he is getting better, but Tony is not in my favorite color commentators. Significantly better than Tom Brady is right now, but yeah. I think I'm also a little biased. I didn't really like him as a player because he was a cowboy. Sorry, Seastrom. Sorry. All right, McCarthy under center. Hands it off to Mason up the middle, and that'll keep the clock rolling. Gain of 2 on the play, and it looks like Chicago will get the ball here with maybe, and I mean maybe, 10 seconds. I was going to say 10 to 5, but probably just 10 seconds. Yeah, and I'm trying to remember. There was an interview with Al Michaels. This was years ago. I think this was like early 2010s. Kind of what I mentioned before about elevating the moment without taking the spotlight of it. He talked about it where it's like I am here for the listeners to be able to give them the sensation of what the crowd is experiencing. He's like, if the moment and the crowd are doing that, I don't need to say anything in that moment. He's like, but after the play, giving them context of why this moment could be significant, can elevate that memory afterwards. I think he mentioned that. I'm trying to remember. I think that was Al Michaels. But yeah, that's kind of what I hope is what most commentators do. And I know that's a high standard for me to hold for everybody, but I don't know. Let me see here. That's a fair take. I just really feel bad for Greg Olsen getting the shaft from Fox in favor of Tom Brady. Yeah, absolutely. As a person that has listened to Tom Brady, and maybe it might take some time for him to get better, I'm good. It's not a Patriot thing. It's not a 6 or 7 Super Bowl thing. It's just like there's just some guys that don't need to be on TV. Tom I don't think he has that charisma, to be honest with you. Like, I don't know. He's not super personable, to be honest with you. And that's not attacking his character or as a person. I'm just saying as like a commentator, it's not a thing. Oh my God, oh no. Oh my God. A disastrous freaking play for Chicago there. They had maybe 8 seconds. It was a direct snap. I think they were trying to get it to DJ Moore, but it did not work out. And look at Caleb. He was like looking into the middle distance of like, why? How is this happening? And it's another penalty for Chicago, 12 for 127 yards on the night. So they have the ball now at their own 15. This is not going to be a Hail Mary territory. You have 5 seconds. Like, what can you do with that? It's going to have to be a lot of laterals going on here. Boom. Oh, breaks the tackle. DJ Moore unable to hold on. Fumble, and it's recovered by the Vikings. That is the game. Chicago loses this one on Monday night. J.J. McCarthy absolutely explodes exploding in the fourth quarter. Oh my goodness. The Bears fumble this one away. They had what looked like a commanding 11-point lead late in the second half, and they just let it slip away. All right, man. At the top of the NFC North is Green Bay and Minnesota, and at the bottom it is Detroit and Chicago. I mean, I got to give it to J.J. McCarthy, man. He did not look good to begin this drive. Once again, he wasn't the worst part of it, for sure. There was definitely some things that needed to be corrected around him. But, man, dude, Minnesota just got better and better and better as the game went on. And by the end, even though they were still trailing, halfway through this fourth quarter, you just started to see the momentum, the confidence starting to grow little bit by little bit here and there. And then, dang, dude, they just took over at the end. Yeah, let's look at the overview here. So Minnesota, coming into the fourth quarter, they were down 17-6, and they scored 21 points in the fourth quarter on 3 consecutive drives. All right, J.J. McCarthy finishes his first start, one with a fourth quarter comeback and a victory. J.J. McCarthy, 13 for 20, a $143, 2 touchdowns, did throw a pick six early in this game, but was able to recover. And, dude, freaking ran for two times, 25 yards, including what ended up being the game-winning touchdown. Jordan Mason had a really significant second half, 15 carries, 68 yards, 4.5 yards per carry, and a good chunk of that came in the fourth quarter when they needed him most. Justin Jefferson finishes the game as the leading receiver, 4 catches, 44 yards. Aaron Jones, 3 catches for 44 yards and a touchdown, along with Jefferson's touchdown as well. Javon Hargrave finishes the game with 2 sacks, both in the fourth quarter, I am pretty sure of. And Chicago, man, Caleb Williams, just a tough night that was looking pretty good. They scored a touchdown on their opening drive, and then they played pretty well for about a quarter and a half, and then in the second half, it just sputtered. Nothing going until basically their final drive is that they were finally able to get down the field a little bit here, make a couple plays, and then Caleb obviously making a nice run to the end zone to get them to within the 1 yard line, and then finds Roma Dunze to try to make this a 3-point game, but just not enough time, not enough plays. And yeah, they just let the Minnesota Vikings figure out what they needed to do. And yeah, just a terrible loss, man. So Caleb, 21-35, 211 through the air, 1 touchdown. Caleb also finished as the leading rusher for his team, 6 carries, 58 yards, including a touchdown. Swift, 17 carries for 53 yards, so not a great day on the ground. DJ Moore finishes the game as the leading receiver, 3 catches, 70 yards. Zacchaeus, 4 for 42, and Roma Dunze, 6 for 36, including the touchdown that made it 24-27. So, yeah, man. If you guys are still here, man, appreciate you. Thank you so much. Please leave a like, subscribe. It helps out the channel immensely. And that is week 1, man. We watched Aaron Rodgers get some revenge on the Jets. We saw Jordan Love and that Packers defense absolutely demolish the Detroit Lions. And then we saw one of the craziest comebacks I think we've seen in a couple years, where the Bills were down by 15 with probably, I think it was a little less than 4 minutes left in the game, against Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, who were just running all over that Buffalo defense. And Josh Allen and that offense just came alive to score 16 unanswered points, get a game-winning field goal by Matt Prater, 41-year-old Matt Prater, to win it 41-40 on Sunday night. And then obviously tonight, the coming out party for J.J. McCarthy did not look pretty at the beginning, but at the end, all that matters is you get a win. And that's what he did. So Minnesota 1-0. That's week 1, man. Hell of a week. I can't wait for week 2. It starts out with the Packers and Commanders. Should be a hell of a game. And damn, yeah, this is just the beginning of the football season, man. It's been fun so far. David Stegosaurus, stupid Bills. Yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of pulling for the Ravens, man. I like Lamar. I want to see that guy win a Super Bowl at some point in his career. So that'd be pretty cool. But I also I want the Bills fans to be able to get a Super Bowl as well. So, yeah, whichever one comes first. All right. Chris, catch you later, brother. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you staying out here, man. Thank you. All right. David, everybody, thank you so much, man. I'm going to try to get some sleep. And I'm going to try to pop out a video here before Thursday. It might just be a Packer breakdown here for what I saw. There's already some pretty good, some film that I was able to get my hands on. I don't think I'll do a film breakdown, but I'll break down my thoughts on the Packer game, at some point this week. So thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you. I like Josh Allen more than Lamar. I had just picked up the Ravens. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, man. Hey, man, you better be careful, man. You might lose that title, man, because you said you won last year. I don't know, man. Gotta be careful. No, but thank you so much, guys. Once again, my name is Dave, and I'm not a coach. Have a great night, guys. Week 1 in the books.